Okay. Hi and welcome everyone to the next episode of the Keptn developer meeting. Today it's a meeting where the community is invited to talk or to bring in questions, and we have one guest, Aditya, who will show us what he is currently working on and also what maybe questions he has for the Keptn team. Then there's also one item, but there is no action item from the last meeting, but one problem that we can or should also discuss in this meeting. And I would like to, again, point to the roadmap of Keptn so that you get also a feeling what's coming up in the next release and in which direction the project is heading to. I'm happy to start with that, and we'll just go over and also guide you to the information where the roadmap is located. Therefore, like always, go to Keptn, and on the organization level, on the project, here you find the project roadmap. When you click on that, you can see all the Keptn enhancement proposals that are currently in progress for the next release, and the next upcoming release is 0.8.5. And here we can see 3 items. The first one is that we want to improve the management of Keptn entities like the Keptn project, the Keptn service by using the bridge. Let me just open it and let's just quickly go over this enhancement proposal. Well, the motivation is pretty obvious. Now quite a lot of users, Keptn users, are also asking for features that allow me to work, not to work with Keptn entities like the project or a service, but not with the CLI, but rather with the UI. And there is obviously the first use case that I want to create a project with a shipyard. And the way we envision that is that on the project page, there is this create project button on the top right corner. And this brings me then to the settings page of a project where I can then fill out the project name, define the Git upstream repo, as well as a component that allows me to configure my shipyard configuration. And finally, there is the create button that then creates the project. The second use case is then the opposite one, that after creating a project, I also want to delete it, but therefore you would use the same settings screen where you find then delete this project component that provides the delete project button, and also with a confirmation dialog that will then pop up. And when you provide all the information that is the dialog asking you, then you are ready to delete this project. And currently in progress, yeah, and we also need to elaborate here a little bit and get also a little bit more thoughts on how to create a service. But this is also a feature that the bridge should then be capable of when this KEP is implemented. And the same is then true for deleting a service using the bridge. All right. Then the second Keptn enhancement proposal, this is one that is, let's say, a long running task, because we want to achieve that you can run your Keptn installation on high availability, and also in a mode that that does not have zero downtime when you do an upgrade, and therefore some changes in certain components are required. And here we also need to figure out a little bit more what we actually need to do to fulfill the requirement of having zero downtime upgrades and high availability. I mean, the use case is pretty obvious. I, as a user, I'm running my Keptn installation, and while I'm doing an upgrade from one release to the other one, all the processes and the sequences that are currently running should continue running, and there should be no data loss or any event that get lost. If you're interested in this topic and also have some ideas to share, please tell us. We are really looking for feedback, how this can be solved or which concerns also may come up. Please feel free to post your ideas, your comments directly on this Keptn enhancement proposal. And last but not least, functional requirements that one of the next release will bring more control over sequence executions. And what is meant by that? The use cases are that I, as a user, can trigger multiple sequences at the same time or almost at the same time, and then the sequences, they get queued, meaning that there's just one that is then executed in one stage. And when it's done, then the process goes, or then the next one starts to work. A second use case that fits into this cap is that Keptn terminates a task, a triggered task, when there is no service that is actually reacting on this task. The problem that we want to solve is that at the end we don't have open sequences, but Keptn should terminate those that have kind of no one acting on certain task events. And last but not least, this cap also includes that I, as a user, can also pause, resume, or abort a triggered sequence, and therefore the CLI will provide the capabilities for doing these three actions, and as well as the bridge will also provide the controls for pausing, resuming, and aborting directly in the UI. All right. I think really cool features ahead of us. And yeah, I think we will see more as we progress on these cap enhancement proposals and as we also continue working on these. Any thoughts or ideas, feedback or recommendations? If not, then I will jump back to our agenda. Aditya is currently typing, and yeah, then I would like to ask Christian to talk about the problem he's currently facing with one issue.
Thanks. So during some playing around, I have a situation where I have two stages. One of them has an evaluation, and this evaluation, although it finishes with some message here like no evaluation performed, blah blah blah, it still finishes with result pass. And then also shipyard controller finishes with result pass, and it jumps to the next stage. So this would be like a very simple workflow. I have an evaluation in stage one, and then in the next stage, I have an approval step. And this is where it gets tricky, because this approval step is actually set to automatic for pass and warning. But as you can see, it is asking me for approval here. That's already written down in this issue as a bug. Clearly, this should not be the case. And we discussed it internally about fixing it. And the idea was to take the result from the evaluation event. Now, unfortunately, the evaluation result, as you can see here, is this one. So it's not pass, it's not warning, it's not fail. It's a string saying no evaluation performed by Lighthouse. And I think it's legitimate. This is the result that we have. This is the result that we wanted. So we are still back to zero as far as it concerns fixing this, because we cannot rely on this result, and we currently do not get this result. So as an example, let's go into the approval triggered event here. If my Zoom doesn't let me do it, so there we go. So this is the approval triggered event, and this approval triggered event has the approval configuration as we have set it in our shipyard. It has the deployment from the last step. It has the evaluation from the last step with the result, as you can see, but it never says pass anywhere. So the result here is an empty string. The message here is an empty string. Status, test, everything is basically not usable for our approval service. And this only happens when approval is the first step in a sequence. So if I do it like this, if I say this is name evaluation, so I have an evaluation task and then an approval task, then it would work. But because the evaluation is in the sequence before, it doesn't. And yeah, so I've tried to implement the fix as we've discussed it. We can quickly look at it. Essentially, I added a get result function here, and I'm overwriting data.result. And in this get result function, I'm basically taking the evaluation finished event data and taking the result from the evaluation finished event. But yeah, again, this unfortunately does not do what we want to do because the message in here does not map to pass or warning or fail. So any thoughts? How should we fix this otherwise?
Maybe it's a bit confusing in the first place why result at the top level of the event data is kind of an enum type, so either pass or fail, etc., and why we in the evaluation.result can have a string or an arbitrary message. So my idea would probably be to introduce a evaluation.message, which could then hold the value that we have seen in this example now. So any string, and then also for the evaluation.result property, we should introduce the limitation of having one of the available result types we already have at one level above.
Meaning pass, warning, or failed.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need a separate field for the message because the message, let me reshare my screen again. The message we basically have here. But yeah, same issue with result that we have here. It probably will not get passed into this approval event. So depending on what we want to show, yeah. But I agree. So I'd have to change Lighthouse to use the result the same way as it uses here, and the message is already here.
And are we sure that the UI, the bridge, is taking the message and not the result to show this information here?
This one is the message. I'm 100% sure. But on the services screen, this might be different. Okay, it's a bad example here. I think on the services screen here, okay, I need to go via this one. There's the evaluation on this evaluation screen here. I'm not 100% sure where it is. Is it actually showing the message?
Result pass.
I think here it's okay. Let me show here. So there we would have such a message. Let's see. No, it does not show the message at all. So should not break anything. Elizabeth, are you trying to say something? Okay.
Naja, ich bin jetzt am
Okay.
Das ist so. Deswegen.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll just implement it with Lighthouse then, and I'll see if the combination of the fix in approval service and Lighthouse will change it. But I think we will get we will just make the problem a little bit deeper into the code now. So we should really consider fixing this in Shipyard Controller sooner than later. Because the core issue is that Shipyard Controller is not passing the event.
Information, yeah, to the next stage. Mm. Mm. Okay. Yep. Then let's go this way to fix it in the Lighthouse service first. All right. Cool. Aditya, are you ready to share your screen and to show us what you have implemented?
Yeah, sure. Johannes, can you I have a other name with Aditya. That that laptop I want to share my screen. So,
Just allowed you to talk.
I cannot share. I want to share the screen from that laptop.
Wait a moment. I think I have to promote you to panelist. Now you should have the permissions to share. Aditya, oh yeah, perfect, cool.
So I have these three parts. I have this event or JSON in which I have given a common JSON event with all these fields, and then I have my script of parser, and I have defined the two templates inside this template. So let me show you the template. Okay, so it's something like that. That I have written a template and then added a placeholder with the name that we have on the web cloud event. So and user can also add his customized data, like he have some subject or something like that, then he can add. He can also add some condition, like in the last line you can see I have added a condition that if data.result is passed, then only this part will show. So let me show how this works. So this script takes my event, like this event, and it parse it using a template in Python by the name of Jinja. So let me show this. So I have talked with Jürgen about this. So he said to me like you have to take the template and allow the user to take the data from the cloud event and also add his own customized data. So that's I have done. Like in this part, it loads a template and then it gets the event from the script and then we can render it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like my question is that is that the right way? Like Jurgen have told me to talk to the community about this.
Mm-hmm. This looks already good. I mean, it gives you the capabilities or the tool that you can define the payload that you want to have in the template and fill in the data from the cloud event that is coming in. And yeah, at the end, it should then be forwarded to the endpoint that wants to receive it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks already very, I mean, promising. Just, I mean, it's a Python implementation, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to look on that. Like Go have some thing also. It's similar to a Go template. They have like Go HTML, something like that, which can do something similar. So I have to look on that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very much comfortable with like Python with Go. That's why I implemented on the Python. So I can try to build this same thing on Go. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would be great because yeah, most of our Keptn services, they are implemented in Golang, and having this implementation also written in Go would help us a lot. But from an end user perspective, or from what we want to yeah, have, this already looks yeah, promising, as I said, and gives quite a lot of flexibility that I can customize my payload the way I want to have it based on data that is coming in, and then I can just forward it.
yeah, there is one cool feature also. Like you
Oh yeah, yeah. Are there other ways for defining?
seen there was something.
Aditya, was a little bit difficult to understand you.
Yeah, I was saying that like hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
okay.
I was saying that in this you can also add a loop, so you can iterate over some similar condition of over the what we call the services, and then we can check the status of different part. Like I was seeing but not sure about how to implement in the Go, but I can try on that part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Very nice. Thanks a lot. Are there ideas or feedback from the others? Okay. Let me go back. Aditya, do you need other help or other tips or tricks from our side?
Yeah, like hello.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm facing some issue with like I was trying to deploy Keptn locally, but my machine have 8 gigs of RAM. So I talked with like some and India. So he told me that for running Keptn you need something like of 16 gig. So I'm trying to figure out something. I have two laptops, but both both have 8 gigs. So that to try running Keptn locally,
Okay. Yeah. I don't know it from top of my head, but Jürgen is also working with a partner that allows us to spin up a Keptn in their environment so that you don't have to run it locally on your machine, but you get an instance remotely. But I don't know it how it's Sivo. It's a Sivo marketplace. Let me just quickly see Sivo. Let me just quickly search features. Keptn on Sivo marketplace. Okay, it's not totally free, but you get $200 when you sign up here. Maybe Aditya, this can help you at least also to test out Keptn and to get familiar by hosting it here at the Sivo marketplace, or they host it for you. So you can also spin up a Keptn instance there if you would like. But for more details,
yeah, I was saying that I'm going to upgrade my laptop.
okay.
So it may be like 3 to 4 months later, but that till then I can use that.
Okay. Just paste your link in case you want to use it. But if you want to prefer going with your notebook, that's definitely the better option. Okay.
What kind of tools are you using on your notebook to install Keptn or to run Keptn? Are you using K3s or are you using Minishift or Minikube or whatever?
It's like you again have started the new that new quick start with K3D, so I'm using that.
Okay, yeah, that should be fine. Did you install Keptn using use case continuous delivery?
I've tried using use case continuous delivery, but in the Helm step, it freezes. And then I tried to use that Keptn install, but the same outcome. Like after it is like showing that it's loading Helm, and then after that, nothing pops up. So whenever I do kubectl get pods, all pods are not ready. So that's it.
Yeah, I would recommend if you only have 8 gigs of memory to not use the continuous delivery use case and the demo, but to really just install a slim Keptn control plane. So you will not be able to do Helm deploy and things like that. You would really just do, I don't know, trigger an evaluation and connect to a Prometheus service that's running somewhere else, or even if you don't want to do an evaluation, like really just send in a cloud event and have one of the services respond with another cloud event. That would save you a ton of memory. Maybe that helps to continue for you. I'm not sure if it solves all your problems, but it might help to make it a little bit faster.
Correct. Go with the slim down Keptn, but just installing the control plane and not the continuous delivery use case. Okay, Are there other questions that were coming in the meantime? There aren't. Are there other concerns, feedback? If it's not the case, then I think we will close this meeting a little bit earlier today, and wish you a nice rest of your day. See you then next time in the next episode of the Keptn Developer Meeting. Bye.
See you.